Hello, everyone. Michael Jordan fans are the best. And today we're having the inaugural MJFB Trivia Championship, something that was a big part of the early shows. And I thought this was a great way to give it back to involve the audience. And this is going to be a trial run of a format. We'll see how it goes. First, let me welcome the participants. And for future people that want to join this, please sign up. I will give forewarning, and I'll put a link in the community page with a link to sign up. Please do that to participate in the next time. Now, if you are watching, please put your answers in the chat just for what you think it is. However, you will not be eligible for the giveaway, and you will not. The score won't be kept, but please participate otherwise. Before we get into it, though, let's welcome the participants. First, we have everyone knows Nick, NNB Sports. How are you today, sir?
Doing good. Mavs got some big wins without Luka. I'm feeling better. So yeah, I'm looking to do this. Hopefully, if I lose, I won't lose to Jim again. So we'll see what we can do.
And we've got newcomer John G. How are you, sir?
I'm real good. My Trailblazers is one of the worst teams in the league, so I'm mostly here for the hate stuff.
And then we've got Jim, self-researched NBA facts, the MJFB Summer Debate League champion. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing good right here. As you can see, I'm a Bulls fan, so I'm living in the past. So, we got no present.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. So how this is going to go, this is going to be a turn-based game. So essentially, is there another? Okay, this is not the one I wanted. I wanted this one. Okay, here we go. So the prize will be the trophy on the right with your name on it, and it will say MJFB Trivia Champion. And how this game is going to go, it's going to go turn-based. I'm going to use an arbitrary amount of time in respect to how long I'm going to give you to answer the question. However, if you're really stretching to answer the question, I'm just going to say you got it wrong. And there'll be a series of questions. Whoever has the most questions correct at the end of the game wins the trophy. And it'll just be Q&A after you read the question. That's when the time starts. So the order will be Nick, Jim, and John. And we will just go through that because that's how y'all came into this room. Are there any questions before we start this?
Nope, I think I got it.
Just gonna wing it here.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. The first subject, and this will be a series until you see this broad word. The rest of the questions will be involving records. Nick, are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. The first question. Which franchise has the lowest scoring game of all time?
Man, who was the worst team ever? I'm going to go with the Dallas Mavericks, actually. We were so bad in the 90s. That's what came to mind.
All right. And the answer is the Minneapolis Lakers. So remember, this is why the shot clock was invented. It was George Mikan and his Minneapolis Lakers lost 18-19.
Yeah,
So,
that was a bad answer by me. I should have gone with an older.
It's all good.
That'd be a tough game to watch.
Nowadays, yeah.
18-19.
Yeah. They just held the ball away from George Mikan because he was so dominant. All right, Jim, are you ready?
Yep, let's go.
Which franchises, two of them, have the most three-pointers in a single game?
Oh, boy. I mean, I'll probably say, is that made field goals?
Yes, made three-pointers.
Okay. Oh, man.
Did you answer, Jim? You cut out for me.
Yeah, Houston and Golden State. I know it's wrong, but it's the best I got.
All right. The answer is the Celtics and the Bucks.
Wow.
I might have
Interesting.
I might need to go and some of these are generally on the same bandwidth of this, so I may have to throw some softballs out there for the next one. All right. Are you ready, John?
I'm ready.
Which player has the highest steals per game of all time?
I know it.
Pete Maravich.
Nope. It was Alvin Robertson.
Wasn't going to get that one.
The steals per game is actually really quite a close race. There's a lot of guys within the threes. It's just really just breaking it down by the decimals, but yeah, Alvin Robertson's the guy. All right, Nick, are you ready?
Yeah, let's go redemption.
Who has the most playoff blocks all time?
Well, they'd have to be recorded. I'd probably go Kareem.
Green. The answer is
Tim Duncan.
Jim.
Yeah,
You're getting
there's
Two
that
in a
whole
row, I
in
knew
track
the
block
answer.
for a long
The
time.
one that I got, I didn't know.
on.
Yeah, it should have been Bill Russell or Will Chamberlain, but because, like Nick said, they didn't record it, it's going to be somebody else. And I knew that it was Duncan, but that's all right.
All right. Jim, are you ready?
Yep.
Who has the most playoff steals of all time?
Ooh. Playoff steals. I'm going to say Chris Paul.
It's our good friend LeBron James.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I
All
never
right.
thought you would fall to letting Clutch Sports pay you to put out propaganda.
I've now turned coat to clutch now.
I love it. You're going heel. I love it.
Those were all like Cleveland games, though. They were all home games.
I mean, he's been in a million playoff games. I mean,
Yeah.
you know. All right, John, are you ready?
Yep.
Who has the most personal fouls all time?
Jeez. Wow. Well, I'll just. I know it's probably just text, so I'm going to go with Rasheed Wallace because I don't know.
Good guess. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
This is another longevity record.
Yep.
And a big man. So that's why it's they
Makes
usually get more fouls.
Makes sense.
All right, so I have an odd number because I had based this off of the amount of people that signed up. But however, there's 3 categories that we're going to cover, so each of you are going to get an extra question each time around. So Nick, you're going to get the first one with an extra question, and the next round will be Jim, and the next round will be John.
I was just curious, as a thought. We don't have to do it now, but do we let the person try to answer it whose turn it is, and then if they don't get it right, should we let like the next person in line or the other 2 people take a shot at it to try and steal it?
Yeah, I think okay. We'll have whoever's up. Whoever's up next.
Only because we're going totally over here. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be curious if anybody knew the answer. That would be good for me.
Yeah. Again, I didn't warn you on the categories or anything. Like I just tried to make it.
But also, depending on the question, if someone guesses like an obvious answer and it's not him, that could be a huge advantage as well, depending on like the topic or the category.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah. All right. So Nick, are you ready for this question?
Let's do it. This is the red, blue, and white, red, white, and blue ball in the 3-point contest.
Which franchise has the most wins all time?
Got to be the Lakers, I would think. It's Lakers, or I guess maybe it could somehow be the Knicks or something. But I'll go with the Lakers.
the Boston.
I was going to go with
Celtics.
the Celtics.
I was too.
All right.
Celtics, I was going to go Lakers.
All right. So how do y'all think of these questions before we get into the next round? A little too tough. I wanted to use a baseline and try not to go to these really, just like I try to use broader things, but it not just be layups for like everyone that knows like, well, how many championships does Michael Jordan have? I didn't want to make it a layup, but I wanted to make it something that's not like who has the most 3-pointers in the fourth quarter in 1965. Like I did that's something or not 65, but 85 or something like that. What's up?
I think these are good so far.
Yeah, I think they're all right.
I'm not as good with like counting stats and stuff like this, where it's just numbers based stuff. If it was more like who got traded for who, or who untied LeBron's shoelace or something like that, that would really be my wheelhouse. But I'll keep guessing at these.
For the category of records, I think all those were in the right ballpark.
All right. The answer or the where everyone is right now, everyone has a goose egg, as I used to say. Everyone is holding that egg. All right, let's get into the next round. The 1990s. And Jim, you will be starting this one.
Okay.
Are you ready, sir?
Yep, let's go.
For the people that are watching now, if you have an idea of who you think is what the answer is, please answer in the chat. Oh. We've got AJ here who has missed the first round.
I'm so sorry, guys. So sorry about that.
Okay.
So I guess in respect to this, because you did sign up, and well, I guess it's really not any sort of a disadvantage because nobody scored. So we'll continue along with the how it goes, and
Sure.
I apologize if anyone has any sort of unfair thing to it, but this is really just kind of a trial run anyway.
No, it's all good. I tapped in from London and watch you guys all the time. You guys are amazing, so I just sign up to see what's up.
I appreciate it, AJ. Thank you. And hopefully you do well, or hopefully somebody gets an answer right this round.
It's good. It's good.
So this round will be discussing the 1990s. Jim, are you ready to go first?
Let's go.
All right. Which franchise had the most losses in the 1990s?
I think I'm going to go with Nick's answer and say Dallas.
The first person to score on the board is Jim. It was the Dallas
feel like
Mavericks.
I get the assist on that one 100%.
I would have probably leaned that way, but when you said that, it definitely clicked. So yeah, you get an assist.
If you guys remember, ESPN did like their top 10 categories of like the 90s or before the turn of the century or something, before the year 2000. And they did like the top 10 worst NBA seasons by like a team. And the Mavericks were 2 out of the top 10, I think. The 90s Mavericks.
They were
so
under,
bad.
weren't they under Vancouver when they were expansion? I think they had a worse record than Vancouver. I'm really sure about that.
Really bad, yeah.
Yeah.
That was going to be my guess, the Vancouver Grizzlies. I'm going to be.
But that's when I fell in love with them, right? So I always, it's all been gravy since then. It can't get any worse than that.
Yep.
Rex is watching apparently, but I guess he couldn't join us. But he had sent me a text about this. All right. Well, Jim is finally on the board. We got our first score. John, we're going to go into the next question. Are you ready, sir?
I'm ready.
Which player had the most fouls in the 1990s?
Well, it wasn't Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I know. I think I know.
most fouls in the 90s. Lambeer. Probably more 80s than 90s. Hold on.
You want to take it back? All right.
I'm gonna hold off on that. I don't think he spans the wrong half of that decade. It's gonna be played a lot in the 90s and played a lot.
Yeah.
And fouled a lot. And this is just regular season.
Just total.
Total regular season, playoffs, everything. All right. So if somebody who played a lot in the 90s and got a lot of fouls, Luke Longley.
All right. The answer is Sean Kemp.
Kemp Rainbow?
Wow.
I thought it was Mailman for sure.
Wow.
Team.
I was going to go Rodman. Crazy. I thought Rodman now.
Kemp was on the Blazers in the 90s, but he did not play much for us. He was too busy doing coke in the bathroom.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I thought it was Rodman at first too, and then I looked it up. Yeah, and it was Sean Kemp. All right.
Karl Malone just didn't ever miss a game. He played 82 every year, and he was in the playoffs, deep runs almost the whole decade. I can't believe it wasn't Malone.
Yeah, you think about it, yeah.
But
I'm sure he was on that high on that list too.
yeah.
So AJ, are you ready for your
Let's
question?
do it. Let's go.
Which team made the most three-pointers in the 1990s?
I'm just gonna blind guess. I will probably say this is annoying me. I'm gonna go Grizzlies. No, Nuggets.
All right. The answer is the Houston Rockets. I think a lot of that was just a lot of Hakeem kickouts.
Yeah.
So,
Kenny the Jet cashing in.
Murray, Cassell, Mario Ellie. Yep.
yeah. All right. Nick, are you ready for your question?
Let's go.
What player scored the most points against the Chicago Bulls in the 1990s?
I'm trying to think of who's in the Bulls division that maybe had an advantage there. Someone good in the East. I'll go. Oh man, I'm gonna go Shaq.
Shaq. All right.
Even though he came in 3 years late.
All right. And the answer is Reggie Miller.
I was gonna say
I was fucking sniffing around what it should have been. I fucking whiffed.
Really? There's no Dominique Wilkins? Really?
It was a 90. It was a.
Miller was
he
in his
he lines up to the
played him
90
year.
better.
Yeah.
He was in his
Shaq
division.
went to the Lakers a little
played-
earlier than I remember too. That was not a good guess. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, because him and Dominique, that's age.
I mean, Dominique was the early 90s too, but it just wasn't. Well, him being like a strong player. So
Prime for prime. Yeah.
Yeah, Shaq was a bad guess in retrospect.
Reggie, of course. Get that man fixed.
Mhm. And then Jim, are you ready for your question?
Let's go.
Which player had the highest block game in the 1990s? The most blocks in a game in the 1990s?
I know Olajuwon had a quadruple double, but I'm gonna go with David Robinson.
All right. The answer is Shaquille O'Neal. And I believe that number was 15.
What?
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
It is.
Damn, dude, I wish that's on. I hope that's on YouTube. I want to watch that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. John, are you ready for your question?
I'm ready.
Which player had the most foul shots in the 1990s?
Michael Jordan.
And the answer is
Wrong.
Karl Malone. Although Michael Jordan, I believe, had the second most foul shots in the 90s. But the answer is Karl Malone. Not that Michael Jordan didn't drive to the basket, but Karl Malone.
Oh, that pick and roll over and over again. Just grinding it out.
Famous for the pick and roll.
Damn it.
All right. And AJ, this will sum up the 1990s round. Are you ready for your question?
Let's go.
Which team had the most foul shots in the 1990s?
Utah.
that was right out the gate. And the answer is the Denver Nuggets.
Interesting.
Does that include the playoffs?
Yes, it's just the 90s. Well, yeah.
Because they barely played in the playoffs. That's crazy.
That's surprising.
Yep, and I can go and I'll get more specific with these questions. Again, like I can see the confusion there. I will put regular season or playoffs. I've done that where I've asked the questions specifically. So I will be more concise with the questions next time around as well, just to clarify. The next round is the 76ers.
Oh, no.
And John will go first this round. Just to preemptively tell you guys, this is the last round that we have for the game. I want to know, before we even start this round, not to take away from the momentum, do you think there should be more questions in respect to the panel to questions? You think you should? How many questions do you think each of you should get? Because I debated this in my head. I felt that 3 might be enough, but then I also think upwards to 10 might be good.
Per category?
Well, no, just in total. So like you get 1 or maybe 2 per category, depending on how many people show up. So how many questions do you think would be good to get a shot at?
How many is that right now? 5? 4?
Yeah, you guys are around so 4 divided by 21. So
5 1/4.
Yeah,
I mean, so I'm a shooter, so I want like 20, 30 questions. You know what I mean? Like, give me the volume.
Yeah.
One thing I was thinking, how you could add kind of more interaction without really adding a lot of questions, is like what we talked about earlier. Like maybe if I'm first to answer, then I'll go, and if I don't get it right, then it goes to Jim, and if he doesn't get it right, then it goes to John. But again, like on that, which team has won the most games of all time, right? I mean, there's really only 2 choices, right? So on ones like that, it's a big advantage, but I don't know how to do that. The other thing I was thinking is if there was somehow we could write in our answers somehow without others seeing it. I don't know how that would work. Like maybe we get a whiteboard and we just hold it up, would be maybe kind of funny, but I don't know. Just trying to think about how to get more volume without really adding a bunch of time.
Yeah. So
Jeopardy style kind of deal, where we have categories and you can kind of run through the category a little bit.
We've got I think our favorite flaker at this point, Steam Engine, who is supposed to be participating. But he is flaked. Did this not start yet? anyway.
You
But yeah, no, I think and we'll save this for later. But I just wanted that quick question. But for more of that talk, let's get into the next question in the next category. John, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Which franchise has the most wins against the 76ers? Now, most of these questions also encapsulate the other, unless specifically said, it also encapsulates all the historical, the Syracuse Nationals. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'll say the New York Knicks.
That's a good guess. The answer is
I would say Boston. Yeah.
the Boston Celtics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they played them so much.
Mhm.
All right.
Celtics right answers today.
All right. AJ, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Which player has the most rebounds all time for the 76ers or Syracuse Nationals?
I'm gonna say Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley. And the answer is Dolph Shays. Yeah. Yep. I feel like I got to throw some softballs in there.
I've known several of them. Just the one that I get, I don't know. But as soon as you said Syracuse Nationals, I knew exactly it was Dolph Shays. As soon as you said that,
Yeah.
because Moses really only played for 76ers for like 5 seasons, so it
Yeah.
wouldn't have been him. Barkley
Yeah, I thought of
was-
Dikembe too, but I don't think
Not
he
enough.
played that long for the
No.
76ers.
It almost had to be Dolph Shays.
All right.
All right.
Well, Nick, are you ready for your question, sir?
Let's go. I hope it's Allen Iverson.
That's what I was hoping for.
What year did the 76ers have their lowest scoring game of all time?
Oh, a singular game.
But this is the 76ers by themselves. Just the 76ers, not the Nationals.
Okay, but it's just a singular game, right?
One game.
I'm trying to think the year AI left. Or no, man, there were some bad teams before that too. Let's go 92.
Who's still there?
And the answer is 1996.
Iverson's
All right.
rookie year, wasn't it?
That was his rookie year, yeah.
What was the score?
Man, I should have wrote down. I think it was 59.
I know those process Sixers were pretty bad, so you had to get pretty low to beat the process.
Yeah. I
I
think it
was
was
just thinking. Yeah, I was thinking like slow 90s plus before Iverson got there. That's all I was trying to do. But yeah, you're right. Some of those pre-processed teams are pretty
Yeah,
bad.
number of games won probably is the process, but yeah, lowest single game here.
Yeah.
No, that was a good guess, though, Nick. I would have done something similar because I didn't know. Jim, are you ready for your question?
Yep, bring it.
What player has the most total steals as a 76er?
I'm pretty sure it's Allen Iverson, but it could be Maurice Cheeks. I'm going to go Iverson.
All right. And the answer is
Oh, that
Wow.
damn Cheeks.
yeah. Iverson. It's I don't know, man. It was I thought it was Iverson at first too, but yeah, it's Mo Cheeks. And it's
Yeah,
by
that's
a
what
single.
Lincoln steals 3 times, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That is like a 2 or 3 time steals leader.
Yeah. I didn't look into the details of it, but I think that Mo Cheeks, I think he played more seasons with the 76ers, and he also was a great stealer. If I had to, using deductive reasoning.
Seems like he stole some money from the Blazers being a head coach.
Yeah. All right. John, are you ready for your question?
All right.
What season was the 76ers founded? The 76ers itself, not the after it changed from the Nationals. Well, not changed from the Nationals, but accepted. When was the 76ers founded?
1971.
Incorrect.
I have no idea. That was totally a guess.
The answer is the 1964 season.
The way I always remember that is because Wilt came to them right after they were the 76ers the next year in 65. That's how I always remember that right there.
My memories of the early 60s are pretty hazy.
All right. AJ,
Yep.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Who was the coach of the 76ers in 1967?
Oh my God.
Was
I'm gonna pause. I can't even tell you. I'm a straight pause.
You just passed?
Yeah.
All right. So what do you all think since AJ passed?
I'm
What do you
gonna
think?
pause on that one.
No idea, Nick?
I'm totally out on this one.
I'm not sure. I know Matt Gukas was the coach at one time. That was way after. Geez, I don't know.
This was a good question, but I do not know.
And John, you don't know either?
No, I have no idea. No.
Alex Hannum. I picked that year because it's the year that they won the championship. So
68 and 13, yeah.
So
Yeah.
but yeah. And the final question will go to Nick. What player scored the most points ever against the 76ers in a single game?
Just had.
Luka's 73-point game wasn't against the Sixers. I don't know why I thought that. It must be something obvious. Man, I feel like there's something obvious that I'm missing here. I'll say Luka, but I don't think that's right. I'm just saying that because I think it's a setup, but I can't think of who else it would be. Any other big games?
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna say Luka.
The answer is it was an obvious question.
What's a Will? Oh my God! Yeah.
Against the man.
Yeah, I knew it was something obvious. I don't know why I didn't think of Will.
Was he on the Warriors when he did that? Do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the Warriors.
San Francisco Warriors? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
that's why I
crazy.
didn't think of it. I was thinking he was on the 76ers, so I didn't think of him.
Damn.
And our winner
That's
for
crazy.
today is Jim. With one correct answer.
Yeah. Unbelievable, isn't it? Oh my God. Kind of embarrassing, really. But those were hard questions, though. Some of them, though, they were tough.
I fumbled the bag, guys.
So what do you
I
have
think
to?
you were fumbled.
So Jim, since you won, what do you have to say about the game itself? I know you just started mentioning the questions, but how do you feel about your performance of being the inaugural? You're the inaugural champion of both the debate league and now the trivia championship.
That's crazy.
How do you think you did? And what do you think about the questions? What do you think about the competition? How do you feel at large about this?
Well,
this experience?
I think the competition is pretty comparable. We are pretty close to the same stuff, but it's the questions were fine. I think it's just that I think if the right person got, like Nick was saying, maybe let another person have a chance at answering it. That would be the only thing I really would change, because I'm sure everybody knew the answer to at least one question, but just not when they were given it. That's all I'm saying. But
all right,
but no,
Nick.
I did fine. I don't know. I mean, did okay.
Nick, what do you have to say, especially after fumbling that Wilt Chamberlain question at the end? What do you have to say about the game at large? And what do you have to say about the same questions that I asked Jim?
Yeah, so I think the questions are in the right realm, because any easier than, I think, like you said, they just become layups if we go any easier than kind of what you are asking. But yeah, like, I don't know, maybe let the next person in line get a half a point if they steal it or something like that, or if there's a way to do multiple choice and then, like, you know, we get 15 seconds or 10 seconds to answer and then it's the right answer is revealed or something like that. I'm not sure, but like it's fine. Like, I had a lot of fun. I think this is tons of fun. So I don't really have any real complaints, just a tweak here or there, and it's good to go.
Yeah.
John, what do you have to say? And thank you for joining us on the show today. How did you feel about the game? How did you feel about the questions and at large?
So yeah, I thought the game was fun. I think it's a really fun concept. You know, I'm not, like I said before, just pulling from the stat books. I mean, I didn't like bone up on record books before I came here today. You know, I just been watching my fantasy team for 15 years, and watching NBA. You know, I've been following the NBA since '84, but some of this stuff was before even '84, and that was a little tough for me. So just as positive feedback again overall, I liked it. More modern NBA stuff would be better for me, and more not just statistical stuff. There's a lot of drama and trades and stuff that happens, injuries and things like that happen in the NBA every year. And, I got all that stuff up here in my head. And I was really hoping to get more of that out. I don't have who's at the top of leaderboards memorized all the time.
Absolutely.
Real quick,
And
I do like the idea he's saying of like, like historical trades or draft picks or stuff like that. Some of that stuff would be, I think some of that stuff would be fun to throw in as well.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree and noted. AJ, how'd you like playing in the game? How'd you like the questions? What'd you think of the game at large?
The game is great. I think it brings everybody together, brings everybody's personality out, which is really good. I just kind of want to echo what everybody else says. A little bit more of a modernized question. I mean, that 67 head coach question. My mind went totally blank there. So, I would just say just slightly tweak it so it's a little bit more recent in that sense, because I'm watching more of the recent games, even though it's a 3-point contest now, but whatever. That's a whole nother run of thing. So that and exactly what everybody else says, I think it's a great game. I think you should do more of it for sure.
Absolutely. And I plan on doing these monthly as my schedule is available. Sometimes just for my job, I'll go just to not go into details of my personal life of what I do for work. Sometimes I just won't have the technology available for months on end. However, while I do have it available, I plan on doing it every month. So, and to be able to win this trophy, which I'll put up in the screen in a second again. Wow, that's a little weird with StreamYard. Anyway, I thought it was fun. I'm going to take all your guys' advice. The only other thing that I think there should be a little bit more questions. I think maybe, again, it's arbitrary, but maybe 7 rounds, just because it's lucky number 7. I'm going to integrate the steal. Whoever is after the person will get an opportunity to steal the question. I don't want to go down the line because I feel like, everyone can just get it. I feel like it should just be an opportunity for somebody versus it just go across the board. Just in respect to the turns. And then, yeah, definitely more modern stuff. I'm with all of you on that. And just to bring up the trophy again, Jim, I'll be sending you a trophy like this in the near term, so you can. It's not. Man, I don't remember. I think it's probably like 8 or 9 inches. It's not huge.
That's that's so funny though. I love.
I got a spot right here.
Yep.
Okay.
Jim's gonna be the Michael Jordan of the MJFB games.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I'm promoting your channel, Dart. You got your big logo right here. So
absolutely. But yeah, gentlemen, do you have anything else that you would like to talk about regarding the game that you think that can be improved, or that you'd want taken away?
No, it's good. I think the questions were about right. If they were made any easier, then it gets too easy. But if you give another person an opportunity, I think that would add a little more to it. And plus, somebody might be like, I know that one, but if you didn't get asked it, you get nothing for it, that kind of thing. Other than that, yeah, you already touched on that anyway. So
I just had an idea for the steal. This might be too time consuming and it might get a little too hectic, but I was thinking if it's my turn and I don't get it right, people could wager points, like in terms of I'm willing to put 2 points. I know that answer, right? And if someone wants to outbid you, and if you get it wrong, it's a negative, right? Something like that can make it pretty interesting, I think.
Yeah, or at least just take the 1 point away. If they got, say, 2 points, and then they say I'm going to steal it, and they get it wrong, take 1 away from them. That would be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I think, we can go on to that's the thing though, is like, if you do, like, if you absolutely know it and you want to wager these points, I guess the payoff would just have to be that you just get only 1. So you only get 1 point, but you wager the points that you're right. Yeah. So if you.
And if it's something really easy too, right, then I wager a bajillion points. Like I know what the answer is, right? It kind of might become silly, but I don't know.
But and that's a thing. Like I think it could work. But it favors people doing better during the game though, because if you both know the answer and somebody's gotten more questions right, then they're going to be able to answer. You know what I mean? Versus you. So I don't know. That's a thought though. I think the steal, I think the positional thing, I think it's kind of like I like the idea of the wager, but again, I think it's just whoever. I think it's not as it favors the strength in the game versus the position. So every turn per se, if I've got more points than you and you don't get it right, or I can just say, oh, I wager all my points and I get it right and I just get the extra point. You know what I mean? I think he could just run away with it in that capacity. But I like the idea.
Just as an alternative, when I'm not sure if Danby mentioned the 3-point ball, from the 3-point contest where, hey, this is the red, white, and blue ball. Where it's something like we run through a rack and then we do have a ball at the end and we all go through our first rack of 5 questions, right? And who scored the most points on their rack, and that way we can copy an NBA concept, right? And then just move and who's on to the next round, right? And then run through another rack of questions, just as an alternative.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Like, okay, let's say it's 5 questions, right? And maybe like on the third question, I'm like, I like this one I know for sure. I could just be like, I want this to be my Moneyball question, right? It's like maybe it doesn't have to be the last one, but like on the second question, if I'm like, oh, 100% I know this one, like I'm gonna go Moneyball on this one, and then just finish out my rack of questions.
That's a fun twist.
Yeah.
I would think it'd have to be one Moneyball per game.
Okay.
And it'd have to be, because if you just like I Moneyball every round, then you just get, however the point value is, 2 points per round on one question.
Unless you're wrong.
Yeah, unless you're wrong. But I think the Moneyball should be I think because it's supposed to be special, instead of once a round, I think it should be once a game where you can double your points. You know what I mean? Because if you just Moneyball every round, I don't know. Anyway, we're making sausage here.
Yeah.
But gentlemen, thank you very much for joining. Again, Jim is the Michael Jordan of the game so far on the channel. Nick, you had a chance to go into a rapid fire round with that Will Chamberlain. I thought you were going to pull that one out.
I don't know why I blanked on that one, man. I don't know. That was bad. I deserve lashings for that one, to be honest.
So
I wanted to congratulate Jim. When people beat me, I always make sure to congratulate my opponent. Unlike some people, that's important to me to have good sportsmanship.
Oh, thank you.
No way, man. This is my second loss to Jim. I'm not getting any. I'm only getting more sour over here.
Oh, but the rapid fire round that I had an idea with is that it's just a what do you call it? Sudden death. Yeah. So you just go back and forth, and whoever, if you get one and the next guy loses, y'all know what sudden death is. So it'd be a sudden death round for any rapid fire for whoever is tied up top.
And that would have been cool, to do something like that. That would have been fun, but
absolutely. But yeah, thank you all for coming. Do any of you have any last words? We'll start with Jim.
Just thanks for hosting it. You always host these events, and I really appreciate you doing that. So thanks.
I'm trying to bring your face over here. Okay. You're welcome, Jim. AJ, what do you got to say?
Thanks for letting me on. I just want to say keep working hard, being consistent, and speaking the truth. Obviously, Michael Jordan fans are the best. I tapped in from London, so you never know who's watching. I think you're doing a great job. You know what I mean? So that's all I wanted to say. And thanks for having me, guys. Hopefully, I'll see you guys again.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're welcome to sign up for the next one as well.
Sure.
And thank you, AJ. And then, John, you have anything to say?
Yeah, I'm going to be ready next time.
There you go.
Yeah, good job. A lot of fun. Love talking basketball, talking smack. So, if there's more to be ahead of that, I'm willing to sign up for more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Nick, what you got to say?
Yeah, I follow Jim. I just want to say thanks for always doing this. You do the fantasy league and the Sunday shows and the other debate league we had and all that. So thanks for doing these. It makes it possible, keeps it going. So I would say thank you as well.
Absolutely. And I want to thank all of you again for coming. I said it earlier, but I mean, I think this is fun. This is really a hobby that gets my mind off of real life. So it's always fun to just have something fun to do. But thank you all. And then Jim, if on a sidebar before I shut this down, are you available to do that interview after this? You want us to go back to that StreamYard room, or you got something going on?
No, just give me 5 minutes and I'll be right back. Just gotta go to the bathroom. And I'll be good to go.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Good game, gentlemen. That was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Absolutely. And for everyone, Michael Jordan fans are the best. Why is it not ending the stream?